Okay, over to you, Brian.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's well. It's my pleasure today as president of the construction plant to welcome you all to this webinar, which is in conjunction with the Lighthouse Club charity, which we are very, very proud to be supporting in such an important subject today. My role today is simply to welcome you here and pledge the support of the CPA going forward. And I'm sure that over the next year or so, this fantastic initiative is going to develop and build to what we all think this should actually do and achieve. So no more ado for me. Can I hand you over to Bill, who is going to take you right through the presentation and enlighten you on the way forward. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, and thanks very much for that kind introduction. And yeah, the CPA and Lighthouse have been great friends for many, many, many years. And I think probably the work we're doing now is the ones we're doing together is probably the most foremost we need to carry on for the industry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a few slides. First of all, I'm going to look at the sort of macro issues with the industry as a whole, and then look at, for those that are not familiar about what we do as a charity, I'm going to go through what we do as a charity. And then the third section is really what we want to do together, what CPA and the construction plan community want to do together to do more about driving this as a unified force going forward. So let me see if I can get up the slides on and take us through the story. So hopefully you should be seeing the first slide coming up now. If you can somebody just say you can see it, so I know that you can.
Yeah, we're fine, Bill.
Great stuff. Okay. So first of all, let's think about why does a charity like ours, a charity like ours exist? And the reason why we exist is because construction as a whole has got some big issues. Every year we see round about 30 to 40 fatalities on site every year. Every year there's about 82,000 reported cases of long-term standing work-related illnesses that can be directly attributed to working within construction. And every year we see about 2,000 major accidents that incapacitate individuals to such an extent they can't actually go back to do the job that they used to do. Overall, 46% of all occupational cancer cases are attributed to working in construction. We're not selling this industry very well at the moment, and that's the idea. We hope to make it a better place. But the big issues that are hitting us is stress, anxiety, and depression is accounting for 20% of all reported work-related illness. And I say reported work-related illness because not everybody reports that that's the reason why they're not at work. And if we look at the big issue about the suicides within our industry, then you can see that if we compare the industry to all other occupations, which has stayed fairly static through 2015 through 21, which is the latest results that we've got. If you look at the occupations within construction, we see that actually increasing over those number of years, and that's per head of capita, and these are coming through from the government's ONS site. Again, if you look at well-being, construction cancer deaths estimated at 3,500 a year in the UK. Construction deaths by suicide, roughly about 500 a year, and construction fatal accidents around about 35 per year. But if we look at our industry and how it compares with other industries from a suicide perspective, then you're 3 times more likely to see a suicide in construction than you are in any other industry. And if you're working in the trades or ground workers, then you are considerably more likely to see an accident, a suicide in construction than any other industry. So if we look at what we are doing as a charity, then, and trying to relate it totally to people working in the construction plant operations, then 7% of the calls that we get every month are from people working within plant operations in the UK and Ireland. And we are now receiving over 400 crisis calls every month. So there's quite a large number of people phoning in from this community to get help and support. So that's the real reason why I really wanted to try and get CPA involved and try to get this community involved in trying to do something about it. And when you distill all of the information, if there's one takeaway that just you can think about as one thing and is a major issue, and it's something we must do something about, is that every working day in the UK and Ireland, we're losing 2 construction workers to suicide. That is something we are all morally obligated to do something about, and something that we should really turn our attention to try and reduce that in every which way we can. So what do we do as a charity? For those of you on the call that know us, then you probably have a fair appreciation of what we do. But many times when I speak to people, they don't totally get what other things we do as well. So I'm going to run through just about everything we do as a charity as quick as I possibly can. So what is our vision? Our vision is that no worker in construction or their family needs to be alone in a crisis. And what we want to do is to be able to put in place a large portfolio of easily accessible services to anyone in the industry so that they can access help and support. We obviously want to reduce the construction workforce suicides. That is an absolute must. And we must all work together to see what we can do to make working in construction a better place that does not give cause or give a reason for somebody to take their own life. We need to make wellbeing support visible and accessible for all in construction. So it's all very well doing great things, but if we don't give people the knowledge about where to get help and support and how to do it, then we're missing something in what we're trying to achieve. And ultimately, what we want to do is improve industry welfare and well-being, not just for this generation, but for the next. We know that the industry is really suffering from getting new blood into the industry and attracting the current generation to enter. We're around about 50,000 tradespeople shortage for the next 3 or 4 years in construction. And we need to make it a better place to work so we can attract Gen Z and the young people to come into our industry. So what services do we provide? The very first service we provide is a 24/7 helpline service. It's available to anyone working in construction, absolutely free. Anybody can call this and get help along emotional, physical, or financial well-being. We've also just recently added a live chat bot. So for people who don't feel comfortable about making the phone call, they can actually chat to us. And it's not a bot, it's not a robot, it's real people. And the beauty of this piece of technology is that they can type in their own language. It will translate it into English, where all our caseworkers speak in English. And then when they respond back, it takes their English response and translates it back into the language that they are talking in. So it really does open it up to a lot of people who have not yet been able to access the services, and hopefully we should see some more people coming through. The next service is a text. Again, 24/7. They can text hard hat to those text numbers, and they will get an immediate response of somebody at the end of a text line texting back. One of the big breakthroughs that we've made, and one I really want to share with you, is the Make It Visible portal. We have created this absolutely amazing portal of information, advice and guidance for anyone in our industry to access. Again, absolutely free. MD can access it. makeItvisible.info. Hopefully this video will play, but this is a video that I would love you all to get hold of and use it at your inductions or on your site stand downs going forward. It's a very short video, but it gives people an appreciation of how they can access the portal and the wealth of information that's inside it. We had a little bit of trouble with this earlier technically, so it might wobble about a bit. We'll give it a go and see what happens.
In construction, we are all part of a rewarding industry that makes history and changes the face of our landscape. An industry that has created some of the world's most iconic buildings and biggest infrastructure projects. Every physical safety measure is taken to protect our workers. But while we have been shouting safety, we have been whispering health. Working in the construction industry can be incredibly rewarding, and we all have a part to play to look after each other. But sometimes we need professional help when life throws us unexpected challenges. Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness, and help is now here for everyone in construction. The industry has now united and created a free portal to access services for all your welfare and well-being needs. So, if you are not on top of your game and you are struggling emotionally, physically or financially, MakeItVisible.info will give you instant access to information, advice and guidance and a pathway to free support. Find out more at www.makeitvisible.info. Make It Visible, making welfare and well-being support in construction visible, in sight on every site.
So I don't know how well that came through. It was a bit juddery when we did the run through. But what I'd like you to do, if you've got your phone on you, is fire your phone at this QR code and have a look at the portal. In fact, what I'd like to do is probably give you a quick whistle-stop tour of the portal and just show you just how much information is available in it. So hopefully this should be coming up on your screen now to have a look at the portal. So in the portal, as shown in the video, we've split everything down into the three main pillars of support: emotional well-being, physical well-being, and financial well-being. And if they click on any of these little buttons, then we've broken those down into things like stress, depression, sleep, resilience. And if we take something say depression, nice topic. Every single one of those sections is where we try to get somebody who's a talking head. It's a real person in the industry talking about their trouble that they've had. So they're very relatable people. In every section, you'll get a learn section as well, where you can learn about what is depression, the behavior, etc. So every section is built like this. Every section has got tools to help you self educate and self cope and coping strategies. And every section has got a help as well, where if you're in the UK, we've curated over 3,000 different places where people can go and get support and help. Obviously, you can come to the helpline. We're always there for them, but there's some specialist areas as well throughout the UK. And also, we've curated this for Ireland as well. So if you're in Ireland, in the Republic, then again, we've looked at there to say, well, where are the places in the Republic of Ireland? One other thing that I'll show you, in each section, we have got the Lighthouse beacons as well, and this is a nationwide network of places where people can actually go physically and meet other people of like minds. And this is not something that Lighthouse owns, but we've curated all of these places where people can go and talk to other people. They meet regularly. It's and where they can socialise and in a non-judgmental environment and talk about things, which is obviously one of the best things you can do if you're feeling pretty low. But also, a lot of our workers work away from home, so it's an ideal place to go to if you're working away from home. Again, if I can show you some other places which again are really important, is that from this little menu bar up here, you can go into Make It Visible resources. And we've split resources into areas of general construction and building materials. We've been working with the Building Materials Federation to drive the programme through all of the building material supplies outlets so we can get to the tradespeople and also general construction. And in the general construction area, then if you like the video that you've just seen, you can download the video. You can get access to all of the materials that you might need to get the program running on your site or on your equipment. And then if you have got printing capability, you can actually download the artwork for these posters and then put your own logo on those posters supporting the program if that's something you want to do. But if it's something that you just say, I want to get the stuff pre-printed, then you can go into this click here and you can get access to buying the posters and buying the stickers. And it'd be lovely if every piece of kit that moved inside construction plant had a sticker on it saying, make it visible and how to get access support. Something possibly to think about for the future. So let's switch back to the main presentation. But please have a look around the site and at when you go offline and just see how much is involved and what we can do, and again hopefully get it out to the people on the ground. So the other site, why we just talked about the beacons as well, all available from the phone, from the portal website, easily to get access. The other thing that we launched in big time over the last couple of years is training as well. And we have got two types of training: self-paced e-learning training and masterclasses. Self-paced is, as it suggests, which is people can go on and learn across a whole host of subject matter like building resilience, work-life balance, banter versus bullying. There's a whole portfolio of services in the e-paced learning. And then we run masterclasses as well, which is at a certain time, and they're tutor-led, all online, but people will need to log in at a certain time to actually make themselves available to those. And then we've got a whole host of accredited training from mental health first aid, accredited training, mental health, bringing, working, if you're a manager or a black hat, working with people and bringing them back from when they've had an episode or away from work, and how to bring them back to work from a mental health episode. And we've also got a bespoke suicide awareness course as well, which is available. And then additional services on top of that is that if that isn't enough, we have over the last 3-4 years, we've actually trained 12,000 volunteer wellbeing champions with mental health first aid training in our community, in the construction community. But what we haven't done is put in place support for them, because they carry the emotional weight of the industry. And so inside the portal, again, you get access to, you register as being a mental health first aider, a wellbeing champion, and then you record your interventions that you do. It's totally anonymous, but it gives us some feedback as to what people are talking about. But at the end of that intervention, the system will ask you, are you okay? Because you've just had to take on the emotional weight of somebody else. And if you're not okay, it sends a message through to one of our case workers, and we'll get somebody to phone you and give you supervision and decompression just to help you through that episode. The other major service that we put in play this year is critical response, and we put this in as a pilot, and we've fired off this about 26 times now, where there's been a major incident on site, and people have seen that major incident on site. And what this is within 48 hours, we can get a critical response team to your site to help the people that have seen that trauma happening and playing out, to help them overcome what could be vicarious trauma that they have as a consequence of seeing that. And that has been really well received by the industry to help people get through some of these, pretty awful incidents that do happen on site. And then we've got our Make It Visible on-site van, and these guys are our rock stars. We've now got 8 people in 4 vans traveling around the country, going to sites at stand downs, and they are talking about their experience. They're all from the trades, so they can absolutely give full empathy with the people on site, and talk about and get the conversation started, and help people get talking about this subject, this elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. And one thing that I am so proud about is this particular program. We've visited over 500 sites in the UK and Ireland. We've seen over 31,000 people on sites, and we've made 160 active rescues. That's people that have come and talked to the guys on site and said they were thinking of taking their own lives. They had suicidal ideation, and within hours, we've managed to get them into counselling and help them through that process. And thankfully, they are all still with us. So again, what we need to do is keep on pushing this agenda, is keep on trying to get our community talking. We're heavily populated by men. About 87% of the people working in construction are men. And we all know that this is a topic we're not very good at opening up and talking about. So we need to talk about the elephant in the room. And we're just launching these wonderful little blow-up elephants, which will be in the vans going around the sites as well, as a conversation piece as well, to talk about the elephant in the room. So what can you do to help? There's some very simple things you can do to help, which is one, is get onto that portal and download the helpline cards and the posters and get them out on your equipment or onto your sites so that people know that this help and support is there for them. You can encourage your workers to access the Make It Visible portal, and also use that Make It Visible video at your inductions, and signpost the workers to take advantage of the free training as well. So all of those things you can start doing now. There's no reason why you can't, when you get off this call, and say, right, how are we going to get this, especially at this time of the year. And as you know, all of the services are free. We don't get any public funding from the government or anybody to do this service. All of our support comes from the generosity of our industry, helping us to make this free for everybody. So please, if you haven't already, please become an annual supporter. Do some Lighthouse Day fundraising event, or come and join us at one of our golf days or other events around the country that we are, and have a bit of fun and networking, as well as raise money for the charity. But we can do more than that. And what we're trying to do with the whole Make It Visible program is that we need to drive this, reducing the suicides across the piece. We need to make major improvements in overall workforce welfare and the environmental conditions that they're working in. And we need to make people aware of the services that are available to them. And how can we do better? Well, we can unite as an industry, and we can unite as a construction plant community. We can investigate and qualify some of the best practice that you guys are already doing and make it available to other plant operators. I think that's really important to share best practice, and we can implement services that deliver measurable improvement. But what we really need to do is do more promoting of the proactive and preventative support. And this is more of the long-term things that we can do, because those long-term things will drive long-term culture change within the industry and ultimately make it a better place and a career choice for young people to come and work. So looking at this and what we can do together more long-term, and what I would like as a takeaway from this particular presentation is, as a community of plant hire operators, do we want to put a team in place that looks at the proactive and the culture change? Because I genuinely think we've got the reactive well-being pretty well covered in the services that we deliver. There may be some other things we can do, but we've got a lot of services in this reactive well-being. But that's fixing or trying to fix the problem way down the line. If we can get more proactive in culture change activity running, then surely we can actually stop people getting to the crisis point with better activities aimed at proactive and culture change. And of course, we need to measure this, because at the end of the day, we're going to invest time and money into these programs, and we've got to know what's working and what's not working. So we need some sort of measurement system, which the measurement systems in this domain are still pretty poor, to be able to decide what is working and what's not working. So my final message to you today is that how do we put a team together to drive on behalf of this construction plant community, this proactive and culture change and measurement activity going forward. It must be like drinking from a fire hose listening to my presentation. There's a lot of information in there. Obviously, it's been recorded, so you can play it back if you've kind of missed anything in it. But what I'd like to do is throw the forum open to any questions that you might have from what you've seen so far. So I think if you've got a question, you will need to unmute, ask your question, if there is any questions.
It seems pretty quiet out there, Bill. I think they're all. I take it you can hear me okay, can you?
I can hear you fine, Brian, yeah.
Okay, so whilst maybe you're just taking a bit of time to get a question together for you, could I, as the CPA are hosting today, obviously express our thoughts on this, and if the words congratulate you all at the Lighthouse, Bill, on such a extremely emotive, powerful presentation that we all think that we're very much aware of, and as you rightly said during the presentation, we can always learn more, and just by listening to you there for that I was going to say eternity, Bill, but it wasn't that long, was absolutely mind-blowing, and so much information that you've given to us all here. The only thing I would say, it's not a question, Bill, is that now that CPA have not willingly actually want to wholeheartedly support you alongside other partners like the CITB and the Samaritans, we need to now know in the new year exactly how much more we can do. We have got, as you know, we did have 1,860 something members the other week. It keeps increasing all the time. So there's certainly stuff that we can do there. We've got our communications team online today. We've got our staff online today, and they'll be all thinking about how we can now promote this going forward. But an absolutely wonderful initiative, Bill. We're here to support, and whatever we can do now to push it on through our membership and to the whole of the construction industry, I'd like to say on behalf of the CPA, we're here wholeheartedly to support you. So hopefully we can do more. We want to do more. We'll find out what we can do, and we're going to push on with it.
Fantastic. That's really reassuring as well. And then if we can get that communication and maybe just a link to this presentation out to that wider community, because I know people are so busy these days that sometimes this needs to be watched in a different time zone as opposed to in the middle of the day. Does anybody else get any other questions about what has been presented at all? Kirsty, what's she saying? It's an amazing achievement so far, and the team have worked so hard. I'd like to be involved. Yes, Kirsty, you can be involved. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a little comment. Thanks for the presentation, Phil. I've heard it a couple of times before, but it's just a reminder of the great work that's being done and the terrible problem that we have in the construction industry. I thought it was very interesting what you said at the end about we're fixing the problem by reactive, and we need to look at working conditions a little bit more. I'd suggest to those within the CPA that it may be possible to try and conduct a survey about plant operator well-being, and then see if there's a little bit of a pattern with plant operator well-being that we can work on collectively as a plant hire community. So that's the first point I want to make. The second point I want to make is that, yes, you've said that we can promote. Remember, plant hirers don't really have sites of our own, so we're just traveling our kit out to places. So I'd like to just tell everyone in the group here that we've successfully been able to put Lighthouse Club livery onto all of our equipment. Just get the stickers in and then just speak to our fitters and just go, new piece of kit comes in, just put that sticker inside the cab, because that's the communication that we want to give out to people. It's amazing what a conversation starter that is for our people on site. They start talking about the Lighthouse Club themselves. You don't need to say much more than that. That's the thing that promotes that stimulates that conversation about someone else's well-being on site and the openness of someone else wanting to listen to them. So I just highlight that as probably the most important thing that the CPA could influence. Just show how simple it could be to put some make it visible Lighthouse Club stickers on every piece of equipment for each company. If we can make that a little bit easier to do, because it took us a little bit longer than expected, we just had to get the resources together. So if we can make that as simple as possible, we in the within the CPA community can get that message out.
That's great news, Rob. And those stickers are available again from the Make It Visible portal under the resources. I think I've printed off about 250,000 stickers, which would be more than enough for a few bits of equipment. Any other questions before we probably call it to a halt and close it down? But any other questions coming up? Roxanne, Barry, Katie? All quiet on the Western Front. Oh, Roxanne, hello.
I'm going to definitely go onto the app and download the posters and cards and stickers and get those around and speak to management about getting them inside the machines. That's a really good idea, because we have all the plant hire in our yard, so we can do things like that. So that's something I'm definitely looking into. Mental health is a huge thing in our company. I work with a wellbeing department, so try and spread out with all the gentlemen out there and the ladies that they have got support if required, and that they have all the information to hand. But these stickers are a really good thing, and it's something that they will all see. So I will definitely be looking at into that today.
Brilliant. Thank you, Roxanne. That is absolutely music to my ears. Great news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Well, if that is if we're all done, then again, I can't thank CPA enough for pulling this together for us and making this event happen. Only delighted to be here to share that message, and I look forward to working some more with the CPA to really push the message out. And if there is a need, and as a few people said there will be on this, I'd love to see maybe a small community of people getting together to say, how do we hit that reactive and culture change piece to get it for the long term and move the cycle up so that people don't get into crisis in the first place, and make sure we get a culture that's going to generate the enthusiasm of our young people wanting to come and join your industry and be part of your community in the future as well. So huge thanks for giving this platform, and look forward to working with you. So season's greetings to everybody. I hope you have a very pleasant festive break, and we'll pick it up again in the new year. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bill. If we hand back
Thanks,
to
Bill.
Adam, I'm sure he'll do the necessary his end, and the same from CPA to everybody, all our members. Have a great Christmas, safe Christmas, and look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Thank you.
Thank you.